Hi guys, happy Saturday. I have had a ton of messages asking, how did you do it? Like what happened? What clicked? And so I just figured it would be a lot easier for me to hop in Julie's page and do a video for you guys and answer it for everybody. I mean, my inbox is flooded. And so if I haven't responded to you, I'm so sorry, but if I had gone through and answered one by one, I would have been there for days. So I'm going to give this just a second to let everybody hop on. While you guys are hopping on, grab pen and paper because I'm going to give you guys some really awesome recommendations for books, for tools, for resources. So go grab that right now. Hey everybody. Hi Gina. Okay, so if you're watching this on replay, just fast forward it about 30 seconds. I'm going to get started here in just a second. All right, we've got quite a few people on. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Sara Reed, and I am a senior executive director. I am a retired hairstylist. I'm a mom of an amazing 9-year-old, and I'm a wife. I've been with Monate for 2 years. This is my anniversary month. So exactly 2 years I've been with the company. When I got started, I hit the ground running. I mean, it was amazing. I had never done direct sales before. This was something that was really new to me, but I was super excited about the opportunity. And I honestly didn't have a large network. I just ran. I messaged and contacted and reached out to just about everybody I could think of, even though I didn't necessarily know them. And I hit MMB within 4 weeks. So pretty big deal, right? MMB is 7,000 in volume, and I did that within 4 weeks. And I stayed there for 18 months at MMB. It was devastating. I watched all of my friends go off to Leadership Summit. I was watching them go off to trips. And I remember just thinking, like, what am I doing wrong? What am I not doing? There's got to be something that I'm not doing. And I'm going to tell you guys everything that I was doing wrong and everything that I put in place to create the success that I have today. For those of you who are stuck and you're watching, people climb the leaderboards, climb the comp plan within 5, 6, 8 months, like, who cares? Don't compare yourself to what other people are doing, because their story is not your story. Is it amazing? Absolutely. Is it likely? No. For the majority, it takes time to get to that level of success. Everybody has different circumstance. Everybody has a different network, has a different platform. They have a different relationship in their community. So don't judge your success on other people. That being said, use it as motivation, because that's what I did. I was watching other people and it fired me up. I was sick of being stuck. And so I used it as fuel, and it helped me along the way. So you can either let it get you down or you can let it drive you. So when I first got started, the company was 6 months old. Julie Stevens is my direct upline. She's amazing. You guys all absolutely know who she is. And she also happens to be my best friend. And so that dynamic, I put a lot of expectations on Julie that it really wasn't fair to do. And looking back, I'm really kind of embarrassed about how I treated my upline, but also how I treated my best friend, because I had so many expectations for her that it just really wasn't fair. Your upline is not responsible for your business. You are responsible for your business. And your upline is really just there to be able to connect you to the tools and resources that we all have available, and make sure you have a full understanding of how this business operates. They're not here to work your business for you. And so let me back up. So when I got started, I was with Julie like every day. She lived in Dallas. We were running to salons and doing drop-offs. I mean, every day we were running. And Julie moved away. And my whole business world like crumbled, because now all of a sudden I didn't have somebody physically running with me. And I freaked out a little bit. And Julie moved to Oklahoma, and she absolutely has a business that she has to build, okay? I'm not the only one in her organization. And so I had a really hard time watching her move to Oklahoma and run with other people, not understanding that she did her job. She helped me during my first 30 days. She got me off the ground running. And I am so, so thankful for that. But it was now my responsibility. And so I had to have a come to Jesus where it was like I could either quit, or I could really grab this by the horns and take 100% responsibility for my business and do everything that I could possibly do within my power to make it successful. And that's what I chose to do. So when I first got started, I was on the leaderboards every month for recruiting. I had no problem bringing people into the business. It was what I was doing with those people that kept me stagnant. I was not onboarding. I would add them to the other 2%, and then I would tag them in videos and hope for the best. I was not onboarding them. And you guys, I cannot stress the importance of that enough. It is going to be the foundation for your business, because the number one reason why people quit is because they don't know how to get started. So they've quit before they even got started because they're confused. They don't know how to even operate their back office. They don't know how to find resources. They don't know what the Dare to Succeed is. They don't know the fundamental resources and tools that help us along in our business. So it is our job to make sure they do. So I was adding people to the 2%. I wasn't doing welcome calls. I would pretty much add them to my team and then hope for the best. Like, I hope that they run. I hope that they move. And so while I maintained MMB for 18 months, I mean, think about that. I'm on the leaderboards for recruiting, yet none of my people are moving. They're not advancing. And the only way to advance past MMP is to help your teammates advance as well. And I wasn't doing that. I was afraid of leadership. I was afraid of being pushy. I was afraid of coming across as being bossy. And it doesn't have to be that. You guys, people literally sign up for this business. They sign up for your leadership. They sign up for your guidance. And I'm going to show you guys how you can establish that relationship from the very start. So that way you know, is this somebody that even wants my leadership? Do they want me to hold them accountable? I wasn't doing that. And so, like I said, I stayed stuck. And I came in the first 6 months of the company. And during that time, we had what was called founder shares. And so I could become a founder if I hit MM within my first year. And my plan was to hit that within 6 months. Well, that's not what happened. So I missed my founder deadline, which was devastating and would have been enough to make people absolutely quit in their business. Well, I missed out on founder. Why should I even keep going? There was so much more to keep going, and I knew that. I knew that there was so much more beyond founder. And so you just have to know that if you're stuck, that there is so much more for you beyond MMB, AMM, MM. There's so much beyond that. And so don't get hung up on those ranks. Just do your absolute best to develop skill, to create some kind of system for your new team members who are coming in. And the one that we have in place, it works. You don't have to recreate that. So when I had this like final wake up moment, I remember sitting in my bedroom thinking, I have to learn how to be a pro at this. You guys, my ego was so big, like it was disgusting how big my ego was. I was a hairstylist, I was a salon owner, and so I felt like I knew business because I owned a brick and mortar business. And it's completely different. Direct sales is completely different than being a traditional business owner. And so that really clouded my judgment. It really got in my way. I felt like I knew everything. I wasn't coachable. I refused to do what the company told me to do because I felt like I already had all of the answers. And so I remember sitting in my bedroom thinking, I don't know it all. Obviously I don't, because if I did, I wouldn't be MMB anymore. I would be with my fellow founders right now if I knew everything. And so I had to humble myself and start teaching myself how to do this like a pro. You guys, you would not go and become an attorney without having years and years of schooling. You wouldn't even go and get a job at McDonald's without having some kind of training, learning how to do it the McDonald's way, right? So I had to learn how to do this the network marketing way. I had to learn how to become a pro at direct sales. And so I spent 3 full months, and I'm not telling you guys to stop recruiting. This is what I did. You never want to stop recruiting. But for 3 full months, that was my focus. My focus wasn't really on bringing new people in. It wasn't really building the team that I had, because it obviously wasn't going anywhere. My goal for those 3 months was to really learn new skills and to absorb everything that I could possibly get my hands on and to put it into place. You guys can learn all that you want. You can hide behind training. You can blueprint out your entire business. You can organize your desk. You can get everything clean and ready for you to succeed. But if you're hiding behind the training and you're not putting that action in place, it's just as good as you never did it. And so it was scary for me. It was scary to think that I was going to have to put into place all of these new skills that I wasn't comfortable with, that I didn't know what I was doing, but I had to do it. And so I started watching Eric Worre. He has tons of videos on YouTube. I started reading the book Go Pro. I still read that today. I started watching Ray Higdon religiously. He's one of my absolute favorites. I started watching Bob Heilig. I started watching Sarah Robbins. I started watching all of these people who already had success in their business. They clearly knew how to do it. And I started implementing their suggestions and their recommendations and what they did in their business. And within 2 months, of doing that, I went from MMB to AMM to MM to MMM to AED to ED to SED. Every single month I ranked once I started doing that. And the biggest thing was the onboarding. I started leading my team. I started doing welcome calls with my teammates, so that way I knew when I was bringing new people in, not just oh yay, I got a sign-on bonus, I signed somebody up, who's next? I started learning what their dreams were, what they wanted out of this business, and if I had their permission to hold them accountable. So I'm going to give you guys what I do on my welcome call when I first sign somebody up. So the first thing that I want to know is I want to know how much money do they want to make, because not everybody wants to be a millionaire. Okay, that can be really scary when we're setting big, huge, hairy, scary financial goals for somebody who just wants to replace their washer and dryer. So I really try to find out what are your goals. And if they can't give me a goal, their first financial goal, I'll ask them, well, would you like to recover your product pack cost? Would you say that that's a good goal to start with? And they're like, absolutely. So I set their goal, their product pack recovery cost, and that's about $500. I set their first goal. I also want to know how much time are they willing to devote to their business to meet that goal. If somebody tells me that they want to make $10,000 a month, but they're only going to be able to invest 2 to 3 hours a week in their business, those don't match up. So, and I want to be really, really clear with people. I don't sugarcoat anything with new people coming in. I don't fluff this business up to more than it's going to be. I don't let them think that they can just sit behind a computer and post once or twice a week and they can make these goals. I let them know what kind of work it's going to take to make these goals happen. And if we have to downsize their financial goal just a little bit, then that's okay. Because I don't want them getting these expectations that just to be disappointed later on. So setting realistic expectations with your new market partners that are coming in. So I want to know how much they want to make. I want to know how much time that they have to devote to their business. I also ask for their permission to hold them accountable. And I let them know this does not mean that I'm your boss. Well, let me back up. I find out their why before that. I get their why, and then I find out if I have their permission to hold them accountable. It doesn't mean that I'm their boss. It just means that I have their permission to remind them why they are doing this. So a lot of people have different whys. If I see that you're struggling and you're falling off, or maybe you're not as engaged, or you're quiet, or you're not responding to my texts or my messages, do I have your permission to remind you why you even started this business from the beginning? I've never had anybody tell me no. I've never had anybody say, you don't have my permission. And then once you've got their permission, it completely takes all of the weight off of you having to wonder, does she even want me to reach out? Does she want me communicating, he or she? Do they want me recommending books or suggestions? Do they want me helping them and leading them along the way? If you do that, it completely alleviates all of that. So after I've gone through that, I want to get their wine and wash date set up. Wine and wash or meet Monate, their ribbon cutting, their launch, whatever you want to call it. I want to get that set up on the welcome call. So I don't leave it up to them. I say, if we want to get your business launched, at least within the first couple of weeks of you getting started, because you're in your smart start right now. We want to take advantage of that. So I have August 13th or I have the 18th at 7 o'clock, which works better for you. It completely takes out I don't have the time, where do I schedule this, how do I do this, and let them know that you'll be there to support them and help them along the way. So that is one of the things that I started incorporating into my business, was the welcome call. The other thing is onboarding. I'm not going to go through all of onboarding. There's tons of onboarding videos in here that you can watch. But you guys do not rely on the videos to do the onboarding for you. If you think that you can just throw somebody in this group, tag them, and hope that for them to watch it, it's not going to happen. You really need to be doing this either face-to-face, through Skype, through FaceTime, through Messenger, however you can get in front of each other, or by the phone. But you have to walk them through onboarding. Develop that connection with them right away. And I also want to help them get their first win within 24 to 48 hours, because let's face it, you guys, family can be the worst at crushing our dreams. I can't tell you how many people have come into this business and quit because their husband said it was stupid, or their sister said it was stupid, or their mom didn't believe in them, or whatever. So I want to help them get their first win before people get in their head. So I ask them, who can you get on the phone with me right now that you know could benefit from the product, or you know could benefit from the opportunity? Who can we go meet right now if they're local? Like, who can you get in front of right now? And that way I have the opportunity to help them present the Dare to Succeed with their potential, and I'm training them in the process of doing that. I'm helping to show them right away how we operate this business with the Dare to Succeed. So that was huge for my business, starting implementing this and onboarding. The other thing that I really recommend that you guys do, I'm a really strong believer that you should not have a team page until you're MM or above. And the reason for that being is that you should be focused on recruiting, you should be focused on building your skill, you should be focused on learning. I mean, there's so much that needs to be absorbed before you start a team page. Because if you don't fully understand the comp plan, you shouldn't have a team page. That does not mean that you shouldn't be leading your team. I started a team page before I was ready. And if you go back and look at my team page, I mean, it's like crickets. Nothing. I didn't know the comp plan. I didn't have a team schedule. I wasn't delivering content. I wasn't communicating on a regular and consistent basis with my team. And so I was pulling my teammates away from where all of that content was coming from. And that was Julie's team page. But what I should have been doing was weekly or bi-weekly Zoom calls with my teammates. If you are MMP and above, you have a team. You have a team that you could absolutely lead. So I really recommend that you start doing a weekly or bi-weekly Zoom call with your teammates. Get in front of them. If Zoom isn't your thing, then there are free conference call lines all over the place, and set up a team call every week. And this way you can get in the habit of getting in front of your team, that you're establishing your leadership role. And once I started doing those, once I started doing the team calls, I started with team calls before Zoom. I started the conference calls. I mean, I saw a huge shift in my organization. It was like they finally had somebody to look to for guidance, because I had never been that for them. So Zoom calls, team calls, messenger chat is fantastic. If you are going to do a messenger chat, establish the rules from the get-go. It is not there to talk about your life. It's not there to talk about what you cooked for dinner or what you bought at Macy's or that your dog threw up on the carpet. It's not to talk about any of that stuff. It's strictly to talk about business. Because what will happen is if you have a bunch of chatter, nonsense chatter going on in these team chats, then people who are really there for the business will stop paying attention. So when you do post something important in that messenger chat, they don't see it. So keep it strictly business in those team chats. You can see where I'm going with this, that you want to be communicating with your team in some form or fashion. When it's time for you to start a team page and reach out to leaders who can give you some recommendations on how to do that. But if you're young in the company, MMP, MMB, MMB, you really want to stick with the Zoom calls, the team chats, or the conference calls. I had an experience when I first got started that really scared me from leadership. It was my first market partner that I signed up, and she has a huge following on Instagram, social media. I mean, she has a billboard of herself here in Dallas. Huge salon. I mean, crazy. And I was so excited about her, and I remember trying to get her started, and I was trying to get her to talk to her other people in her salon, and she responded back to me, "Let me run my business the way that I run my business. If I want you involved, I'll let you know." And so that it's like it scarred me. It scared me from doing anything else with my teammates. You guys have to understand that that's not everybody. And I made the assumption that that was going to be everybody that I brought into my organization, and I hurt myself from doing that. you're going to have a couple of bad seeds here and there. You're going to have some people that want nothing but to give you a hard time. And you just have to let that stuff roll off of your back and not feed into it, not pay it any attention. And just because it didn't go the right way with one person doesn't mean that it's not going to go the right way with the rest of your organization. Don't let one person spoil it for your entire team. And that's what I let happen. So for me personally today, my business looks a lot different today. When I first got started, I was taking every market partner that I could get in. Today, I'm a little bit more selective, and you guys can do that in your business. You don't have to work with every single person that comes your way, and you can start pre-qualifying your market partners. Get to understand what they are wanting out of this business, and if it's going to be a serious business endeavor for them. Would VIP be a better option? For me, I don't sign people up because they want the discount. I don't. They go to VIP. That one-time bonus doesn't mean anything. I want long-term consistency. I want residual. And so if I've got people who are just signing up for the discount, or maybe they'll work it, I don't know. It's going to create holes in my organization, and those holes are going to have to be filled month after month after month. It's the monster that has to be fed every month, and I refuse to do it. So I start people off as VIP customers who they just want to get to know the product, or they just want the discount because they can transfer into a market partner account. So start pre-qualifying your people. This will really help to know who's going to be serious about the business and where you're spending your time. And so I'm now that I've established a little bit of credibility, and I'm an SCD. I didn't get here by accident. I got here off of skill. I got here off of helping my team, supporting my team, leadership, doing what the company says. I can be a little selective about who I bring into the company and who I don't. I'm not saying, don't, because you'd be surprised. People that you think are going to be rock stars don't, and then people that you are unsuspecting of come in and kill it. So don't make the assumptions for people, and that's why you want to go through the interview process with them before they get started. You don't want to make the assumption that people aren't going to be good at this, or don't prejudge, is what I'm trying to say. That's really honestly about it, you guys. I stick to the company tools and resources, and I teach my team how to do the same thing. I really try to get my teammates who are like right in limbo of wanting to step into leadership. I try to give them opportunities to get in front of their teams. So if I have a training in my team page, I'm asking somebody different to host training. Or if I'm at a Meet Monate or a Wine and Wash, I'm not presenting. I'm asking one of my new people to step up and do the Dare to Succeed. Any opportunity that I can get my new teammates stepping up, getting their feet wet, I take it. And it can be a little bit scary for them, but just let them know that you're here to support them and back them up if they need your help. But you cannot micromanage your team. I can't do everything for my 15,000 people in my organization. I just can't do it. I have to trust my leaders to do it on their own. And sometimes you got to set people free and let them do their thing. I can't be a helicopter mom. But they know that I'm 100% here for them if they need my support. I don't overstep my boundaries with their leadership, but that being said, if I see that there's a ton of volume coming in 8 levels deep, I'm going to reach out and make sure they know who I am, and that if they need any help, I'm here to support them. I guess that's going a little bit beyond where we're at. So I don't want to dig in too much into that. This really is the meat and potatoes of how I got where I was today. I cannot stress that Your personal development is going to be huge. I thought it was so cheesy. I refused to do personal development because I thought it was so cheesy, but you guys, it has to be done. Your business doesn't grow if you're not growing. And I still don't have all of the answers today. I have a long way to go on my personal development. I'm not the person today that I want to be in a year. I want so much for my organization, and I'm only going to get that if I continue to grow. So that is my priority. First thing in the morning, before I touch my phone, before I check in with social media, I am working on personal development. And I spend about an hour on personal development and my personal business. So my personal business includes VIP, retail customers, and market partners, recruiting, prospecting. My personal business comes before I start diving into what my team needs, responding to text messages, responding to Facebook Messenger, all of that stuff. My personal business comes first, and it always should. If you have an organization, do not sit and think, well, I've got a team, I have to help my team, so I'm going to stop recruiting. Your personal business comes first. 80% of your time should be spent on your personal business. 20% should be spent on your team. You've got to let your teammates establish their own leadership, and you are there to lead the way by example. And if you're not leading the way by example, by putting your personal business first and recruiting and prospecting and everything that comes with it, then your teammates aren't going to do it too. It's all about duplication. So I hope that this really helps you guys. Really, this is it. That's it. I really encourage you guys to take personal responsibility of your business. That was my number one thing, is when I had to sit down, and it was a hard pill to swallow, and realize that my upline is not responsible for my success or my failure. It is not my upline's problem. Do not wait on your upline to grab you by the hand and say, let's get this skill developed. Let's get this wine and wash booked. Let's go talk to this person. That's not your upline's job. That's your job. So don't wait for them to do it for you. You have to be the one to do it. And I was sitting around waiting, and that's why I stayed stuck. And I had to realize that I wasn't going to get anywhere until I started taking personal responsibility. If I wait for Julie Stevens today to help me land prospects, wait for her to get on a 3-way call with my potentials, be at a wine and wash, I would not be here today. I would still be MMB. So I hope that you guys take personal responsibility in your business and accountability and start going after your dreams. Don't let other people tell you that you're not good enough or that MLM doesn't work. If you buy into what they're feeding you, then yeah, it absolutely doesn't work. You've got to stay confident in what you are wanting out of this business, and you've got to know that you're not doing this for anybody but yourself. So first and foremost, it's all up to you. So I hope this helps you guys. Love all of you guys. If, like I said, if I didn't answer your message, please don't take it personally. I just would be there all day. So I hope this helps you guys, and I'm looking forward to having a kick-ass quarter and go out there and rock your businesses. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. See you. Bye.